that will cause you to understand what has gone wrong. These are the basic facts that we need to be dealing with. We can't move away from them. So, let's read verse 1 of chapter 3 in Genesis. Read.
And the serpent was more crafty than any beast of the field which Ahai Elohim had made. And he said to the woman, Is it true that Elohim has said, Do not eat of every tree of the garden?
Alright, so we find at this time that Satan, using the serpent, comes into the garden to begin his work of deception and destruction of the human race from the early beginning. He comes and he puts a conversation to the woman. Now, first of all, if we go back a little bit, you find that the word says in Genesis 2:16 that the Most High commanded the man. Commanded the man. The woman wasn't there. Not yet. He commanded the man, saying, Of every tree of the garden you may freely eat, but of the tree of knowledge of good and evil you mustn't eat. Alright? So, that leads you to understand that the Most High put the man in charge of this understanding that he should teach his wife to let her know what his desire, what his intention, and what his will is for us as human beings. And that's what he has done for the man. He made the man to have the oversight of the whole world, including the woman. She is to be subjected unto him and to be his helper and whatsoever he needs her to do. You need to understand this, man. And sisters need to understand this, because we are too much out of order. So now, the serpent converses with the woman, and so he's asking her about her knowledge of this tree. And so she says, supposedly, what Father Adam had told her, because the Most High told him. She says in verse 2 of Genesis 3, read it. Genesis 3 and verse 2.
And the woman said to the serpent, We are to eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden.
Verse 3.
But of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, Elohim has said, Do not eat of it, nor touch it, lest you die.
Okay, so you see, the woman brings the same understanding that the man had gotten from the Most High. If you eat of this tree, you're going to die. Adam told her. He did his job there in telling her what the Most High had told him, that they shouldn't eat of this tree. So watch the serpent again. Read verse 4.
And the serpent said to the woman, You shall certainly not die.
All right. We have the first the first line of opposition to the word of the Most High from the serpent, from Satan. The Most High said, You shall surely die to eat of this tree. And the serpent says, Satan says, You shall not surely die. Opposition. All right. Carry on. Verse 5.
For Elohim knows that in the day you eat of it, your eyes shall be opened, and you shall be like Elohim, knowing good and evil.
All right. So now, he's talking to the woman, but see how he brings the man in. Very clever. He brings the man in because he knows that the man has the primary charge of leadership of the world. Okay? See what he says here? For Elohim Elohim knows that in the day that ye eat thereof. He didn't say that you eat thereof. In the day that ye eat thereof, meaning the two of you. In the day that ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open. And ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. What does open mean? Open means that you are going to come to this realization, this understanding that you are gods, or you should be as gods. All right? You come into this understanding that you're going to be as gods, knowing good and evil. Ye. He was speaking to the woman, but he brings the man in. The man is who he wants, because the man is the primary leader. Okay, let's go on. You're going to see this. So now, what happens now? Read verse 6.
And the woman saw that the tree was good for food.
Stop. The woman saw that the tree was good for food. The serpent didn't see that the tree was good for food. The man didn't see that the tree was good for food. The woman saw this. Alright? How did she see this? She saw this in her mind because Satan planted this thought there, this thought that your eyes are going to be open. You're going to learn some stuff, girl. And you shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. Super. Knowing good and evil. So, I mean, when you start to really think about it, how much have you learned by knowing good and evil? How much have you learned? All you learned that you know good and evil. That's all you have learned, that you know good and evil. Well, what else have you learned? Nothing else, that you know good and evil. Okay. So the woman sees that this tree is good for food now. So the serpent says, your eyes going to be open. You're going to learn some stuff. Good for food. And what else was it good for?
That was pleasant to the eyes.
Pleasant to the eyes. This tree is now, I guess, more beautiful than it was created in our eyes. What else?
And a tree desirable to make one wise.
This tree is desirable. To whom? To whom is it desirable?
The woman.
She desires this tree. This becomes desirable to her. To make her wise. Because the serpent told her, your eyes can be open, girl. Alright? And so now, first she was thinking. She's putting one and one together in her head because of what the serpent says. And now, it's going to transfer from thought to action. What does she do? Read. Verse 6.
And she took of the